Yes, I am ready.
Sir. Very good evening. I welcome all of you on behalf of Pusa Road CP Study Circle. Today, on the webinar of decriminalization of offences and other amendments under the Companies Amendment Act 2020. As you know, over the past year, most of the sections of the Companies Act are charged either with the high penalty and criminal action for non-compliances on directors as well as companies. But now the government realized the gravity of the criminal action, so they now come up with the amendments in the Companies Act to decriminalization of most of the section. Now we will understand whether this decriminalization of the offense is effected with retrospective or prospective. And on this, to understand all these things, we have our learned former president of ICSI CS Pavan Vijay ji. Pavan Vijay is the founder of Corporate Professionals and fellow member of ICSI, hold a master degree in commerce and a degree in law. He possesses over 27 years of experience in company law, capital market, and financial services. Before founding Corporate Professional in 2003, he was the managing director of BLV Limited, a biggest corporate stockbroker specializing in arbitrage of the time. He has the distinct honor of becoming one of the youngest president of ICSI in the year 2003. Sri Vijayji has richly contributed in number of committees set up by the government, regulatory authorities, professional bodies, Chamber of Commerce and Industry, etc. Presently is a member of the working group of for National Mission on Interdisciplinary Cyber Physical System, constituted by Department of Science and Technology, Ministry of Science and Technology, Government of India. He is also actively contributing towards social cause. He is a member of the board and governing council of Voice, member of advisory board of Prayas Social Welfare Society, Faridabad, and had been a trustee member of Consumer Education Research Center, CERC, Ahmedabad for over a decade. Sri Vijayji has immense interest in IT and IT related products and is a great believer of use of information technology in financial and legal services. His IT venture of the group TakeOverCode.com was awarded the Tata NAN Hottest Startup Award 2008 for being the most innovative business model. And his another website, companiesjack.in, and mobile app on Companies Act have been widely appreciated by the professional fraternity. Sri Vijay is a prolific speaker and author. He has delivered over 475 lectures on corporate restructuring, merger and acquisition, and takeover corporate governance, company award, securities law, etc. at various forums such as MCA, ICSI, ICI, ICMAI, SEBI, IICA, CBI, IIM, ANMI, BSE, CII, PhD, and ASSOCHAM, other chambers, DU and law college, etc. He has appeared on various TV news channel in panel discussion, talk show, interviews, and is quite active on social media platform. Sri Vijayji has co-authored several books, articles, research paper and reports. His best-selling books, Companies Act 2013 and Rules and Forms, with concise commentary and referencer, has scored 50,000 mark. The other recent book include Business Valuation in India Beyond the Numbers, Compendium on the Insolvency in Bankruptcy Code 2016, and Handbook of Company Law Procedure. He also has, to his credit, his well-researched and widely acclaimed publication such as SEBI Takeover Code, Open Other Takeover Queries, Depositor Law, Practice and Procedure, and Guide to Depositors. Sri Vijayji is incredibly passionate about learning new things and experimenting on new found skill. He has widely traveled abroad in his quest of learning and imparting his gained knowledge. This is the brief profile of today's our speaker. I welcome you, sir. I welcome our Central Council member CA Sanjeev Singhal ji. Before requesting Pavan ji, I request Sanjeev Singhal ji kindly say a few words to our members, sir. Over to Sanjeev ji.
Thank you very much, Rajesh bhai. Rajesh Agrawal ji, I would say permanent convener of the Vista Road CP Study Circle, and my elder brother. Then Sunil Damija ji, my schoolmates, Kohli ji, the learned speaker, former president of the Institute of Company Secretary, Pawan Vijay ji, and very distinguished members. I welcome you all on this very important subject, decriminalization of offences and other amendments under the Companies Amendment Act 2020. जो decriminalization of offences है, देखिए जब 2013 में ये नया कंपनीज एक्ट आया तो एक सत्यम के एग्जाम्पल पे probably गवर्नमेंट पूरे कंपनीज एक्ट को बिल्कुल दूसरे एक्सट्रीम पे ले गई. That what all measures could have prevented a fraud or a scam like सत्यम, और उस प्रोसेस में बिजनेस करना ही मुश्किल हो गया. एंड पिछले 6-7 साल से इस एक्ट का सिंप्लीफिकेशन चल रहा है. सोचिए जो एक्ट 2013 में आया और 1 अप्रैल 2014 से इम्प्लीमेंट हो गया था, 7 साल से तो उसका सिंप्लीफिकेशन चल रहा है और इतने मेजर अमेंडमेंट आए हैं. और सो दिस इज सर्टेनली अ वेलकम स्टेप, बट आई थिंक मोर नीड टू बी डन. राइट नाउ decriminalization has been done from company perspective. So while it's very necessary to encourage the management and also to protect them in case of bona fide decisions, but मुझे लगता है सेम ट्रीटमेंट प्रोफेशनल्स के साथ भी होनी चाहिए, चाहे वो चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स हो, कंपनी सेक्रेटरी हो या कॉस्ट अकाउंटेंट्स हो. उनके लिए आज इतनी हार्श पेनल्टीज हैं कंपनीज एक्ट में, प्लस रेगुलेटर उनको जिस तरह से देखता है, जो एक जनरल नॉर्म होता है दैट इनोसेंट टिल प्रूव गिल्टी, शायद प्रोफेशनल के साथ रिवर्स फॉलो किया जाता है, गिल्टी टिल द टाइम दे आर प्रूव्ड इनोसेंट. सो इवन जो कॉर्पोरेट लॉ कमेटी भी मिनिस्ट्री ने बनाई, उसने भी ऑडिटर वाले इशू पे सिंपैथी तो दिखाई, लेकिन फाइनली कोई डिसीजन इस फेज में तो नहीं दिया. सो आई सिंसियरली होप कि ऑडिटर्स हैं या जो प्रोफेशनल्स हैं जो इतना सिंसियरली काम करते हैं, उनके ऊपर भी इतनी हीट ना रखी जाए, बिकॉज आज जहां प्रोफेशन को रेगुलेट करना जरूरी है, वहां प्रोफेशन को डेवलप करना भी जरूरी है. सो द डिक्रिमिनलाइजेशन इज certainly a welcome step, but then it should be across the board. The basic responsibility for preparation of financial statement is that of the management. So how can the auditor have a higher liability than the management? If you really look at the recent alleged corporate scams, तो सब में auditor has been questioned, management से या तो question ही नहीं हुआ या बहुत बाद में हुआ. So I think a balance between the two needs to be maintained. From institute side, of course, we have always been propagating this and will continue to do so. Pawanji is also here. He is also a very influential personality. So I would request him also to do so, because I'm not saying for chartered accountant alone. I'm saying for all professionals, because without professionals, the economy cannot grow. Yes, we must bring guilty to the book. There is no doubt about it. लेकिन एक प्रोपोर्शनैलिटी होनी चाहिए. नेग्लिजेंस और पनिशमेंट के बीच में एक प्रोपोर्शनैलिटी होनी चाहिए. सो विद दिस आई वुड लाइक टू से दैट दिस इज अ वेरी रिफ्रेशिंग टॉपिक कि आज हम इसके बारे में बात कर रहे हैं. और ये राजेश भाई का ही जलवा है कि इस टॉपिक पे भी 171 लोग हैं, एंड आई एम श्योर थोड़ी देर में 300 लोग हो जाएंगे. ये आप लोगों का राजेश भाई के साथ प्रेम भी है कि आप इनके प्रोग्राम्स में इतनी बड़ी संख्या में आते हैं, और राजेश भाई का मेरे साथ है कि वो मुझे भी आके मौका देते हैं. और इंस्टीट्यूट की साइड से जो हमने कोविड टाइम पे किया है, सेम आगे हम कंटिन्यू करते रहेंगे. किसी दिन बात करेंगे इवन सस्टेनेबिलिटी की भी, जो सस्टेनेबिलिटी बोर्ड मेरे पास है, तो एक अलग से प्रोग्राम रख के. अभी सोशल स्टॉक एक्सचेंज का कॉन्सेप्ट आ रहा है, जिसमें जो NGOs हैं एंड फॉर प्रॉफिट सोशल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, they may be also able to list themselves. इशात हुसैन कमेटी की रिपोर्ट ऑलरेडी पब्लिक डोमेन में है. सो काफी नई चीजें एमर्ज हो रही हैं जहां प्रोफेशनल्स के लिए अपॉर्चुनिटी है. एंड देन वी मस्ट ऑल्सो सी दैट हमारे क्लाइंट्स को कैसे हम डिक्रिमिनलाइजेशन से बेनिफिट दिला सकते हैं, कैसे उनकी कंप्लायंस रिक्वायरमेंट में जो चेंजेस आए हैं उनको भी एजुकेट कर सकते हैं. सो राजेश भाई, थैंक यू वेरी मच. एंड पवन जी, आई विश यू अ वेरी गुड सेमिनार. इनके मेंबर्स हमेशा बड़े इंटरेक्टिव रहते हैं. Thank you very much, Rajesh bhai. Thanks for inviting me.
So thank you, sir, for a word of wisdom, sir. And without taking too much time, I all straight away request our former president of ICSI, CS Pavan Vijayji, for a deliberation on the subject. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Rajesh ji. Thank you very much. Rajesh Agrawal ji, Mr. Sanjeev Singh ji, Sunil ji, Kohli sir, and dear friends. As you are aware that today's webinar is on decriminalization on offense. And what a tone which Sanjeev Singhal ji has put in before all of us, that mistrust cannot sustain the long-term growth and long-term journey of any economy. No doubt, the Companies Act 2013, when it came, it was a product of Satyam scam. And India is always reactive, not proactive. So we have reacted, and then we made a law of 2013. And this was not a law of 2013. It has started first time in 2003. I remember I was president in 2003, first time the Companies Bill introduced in the parliament. And that time, so many new things they introduced. And the main focus was whatever the scams has taken place, they have put in that 2003. Then slowly up to 2013, so many times they introduced bill, and the parliament has, because of it has completed, so they have not taken up. But if you see all the law which they have proposed in 2003 to 2013, it was reaction of various scams, vanishing company, depositors, SARA scam, then Satyam. So the entire law which has come, it was a Satyam and then various other deposit related things. But interestingly, before 2013, it was a toothless and less, it was not equipped to effectively punish the culprit. But the only problem is you cannot punish, but you have to undergo a tremendous process. Like if you have delayed your balance sheet, if you have not filed your papers, there is a criminal case and you have to go to the court, criminal court, and then you have to undergo it. So many cases till now of a small penalty, a small violation is not settled till now. So under this backdrop, it was a need of the industry that they were saying, what is the purpose to do criminality of this technical nature or economic law? So friends, on the basis of this particular law has changed. And which Sanjeev ji has rightly put in, that this particular law has come in 2013, but till now we are just adjusting and making a business friendly act. Now, if you see this, my entire presentation is divided in two parts. One is decriminalization and second is amendment in Companies Act. Now in decriminalization, I will start first. The first issue which is coming, the Companies Act Amendment Act 2019. And in 2019, on the recommendation of expert committee, Companies Amendment 2019 recategorized 16 offences from compoundable offence to in-house adjudication framework. Friends, as you remember, the 2013 Act came, it came with two things. One is they made some offences cognizable, and then they started the in-house mechanism of settlement of dispute or the penalty, but they have not notified. And the cognizable offence was also introduced first time. So this is Companies Act 2019. Then Companies Act Amendment Act 2020 they proposed, and in that case the committee also emphasized of various things, but the main focus was decriminalization of various default which they have left out in 2019. And they finalized that what are the how to rationalize the default, and decriminalize the default. And the main objective which was there, that they should do this except the fraud and where the involvement of large public interest is there, remaining things they should decriminalize. So accordingly, Companies Amendment Act 2009-20, it came after the CLC, the committee report on 14th November. Then 17th March, it was introduced in Parliament. 19th September, Lok Sabha is approved. 22nd September, the Rajya Sabha is approved. And then 28th September, the President has given assent. Now this is the law, and decriminalization is now removed in various places. If you summarize the entire thing of this 2020 Act, the penal provision removed from 10 offense, reduction in amount of monetary penalty in 6 offense, omitting punishment with imprisonment in 12 offense, and then recategorization of offense from compounding offense to in-house adjudication framework of 21 offense. So this, you can see this, that 40 cases they have removed, and that is a very welcome step. But before understanding all these things, I will just tell you the jurisprudence of this particular law of Companies Act. So how the framework dealing with defaults offense under Companies Act 2013 are running. Now, as a chartered accountant, as a company secretary, as a lawyer, you must be feeling that penalty mean penalty. There is not much difference. But when I will show it to you that this particular Companies Act is fine-tuned in so many categorization, you will realize that these are the things which are new and we are understanding first time. So first 3 basic concepts are there in Companies Act. One is liability up to penalty, and second is fine and or imprisonment. Then second is compoundable or non-compoundable offense. Third is cognizable and non-cognizable offense. Now these are the 3 basic understanding and basic framework is there. So first we should understand what is the meaning of fine and penalty. Now normal parlance, everybody think fine mean penalty, penalty mean fine. But this is a thin line difference, and this is a big difference. It is not just fine and imprisonment, fine and penalty is a thin line, it is a big difference. One is penalty. What is penalty? Penalty in Companies Act, they have used where there is a default, and in the default, in-house mechanism is introduced now, and amount of penalty is adjudicated by ROC. So wherever the word penalty is coming, it will adjudicate by ROC. You don't need to go to the court. Now, second issue is the fine and imprisonment. Now, what is fine and imprisonment? Whereas the word used are fine. So there are 3 things as used in Companies Act. One is penalty. Now, second is fine. So fine is used as a single fine, fine and imprisonment, fine or imprisonment. So these are the words they have used. So if anywhere the word fine has imposed, its adjudication is by court of competent jurisdiction is done. It is not done by in-house mechanism. So this is one important point everybody has to understand, that this is the meaning of the fine and imprisonment. Now come to this cognizable and non-cognizable. All offenses earlier, all offenses were non-cognizable in Companies Act, but in 2013 they have introduced the definition of fraud under section 447, and they introduced that fraud section are cognizable, mean you can be arrested and you can be they can take you in custody, which was earlier it was not there. Non-cognizable offense, which other than 447, all are non-cognizable offense where you cannot be arrested. Then second word is compoundable. So compoundable mean that offense which are punishable. Now which offense can be compoundable? Either where the word only fine is there, where fine or imprisonment is there, these both are compoundable. But where the word is fine and imprisonment, that is non-compoundable. So non-compoundable mean you have to go to the court. Now, I have told you three things: fine and penalty, cognizable and non-cognizable, and then compoundable and non-compoundable. If you summarize this, there is a one particular slide. It will be very clear to all of you to understand fine difference of this Companies Act, which is talking about what is the meaning of this. So now this slide is very important, which you have to.
सर आप नहीं कर रही सर.
Hello.
हाँ सर, आपकी स्लाइड मूव नहीं कर रही सर.
Sir, please start your slide show.
हाँ.
This is okay. This is moving.
No.
No.
It's showing only first slide, sir.
Okay.
स्लाइड को सर खोल ओपन करके ही रखना पड़ेगा, जो मेन जो आपके कंप्यूटर में है.
अब वो मैं एक मिनट.
हाँ.
अब आया?
नहीं, अभी तो फर्स्ट ही है सर. मूव नहीं कर रही. या तो इसको दोबारा रिस्टार्ट कर लो सर. हाँ, अब दोबारा रिस्टार्ट करो सर.
अब आ गया, देखना.
ऑन हो रही है, स्टार्ट हो रही है सर. एक सेकंड. हाँ, अब मूव कीजिए सर आप.
आया ये?
अभी तो फर्स्ट ही शो कर रही है. अभी आपने मूव किया था ना, वो हुआ नहीं है. प्रोटेक्टेड व्यू है सर.
इसमें लिखा है who can share, only host, all panelists. Who can start sharing when someone else is sharing? All panelists.
हाँ, आप शेयर कर सकते हो. पैनलिस्ट हो ना सर आप. इसमें इनेबल एडिटिंग कर दो सर. इनेबल एडिटिंग तब आ जाएगा ये. ये प्रोटेक्टेड है सर. है, वैसे आ जाती है ऐसे भी.
एक मिनट.
इनेबल एडिटिंग कह रहे हैं शिवम जी कि इनेबल एडिटिंग पे आप क्लिक करो सर.
जो येलो बार है ना,
येलो बार के ऊपर सर.
एक काम कीजिए, आपके पास है ना स्लाइड शेयर मेरा?
मेरे पास है सर.
आप एक मिनट स्टार्ट करो जरा. अब देखो आया?
फर्स्ट पेज ही आ रहा है अभी सर.
आ गया सर.
हो गई मूव सर.
Okay. So I had just showed the first second. This I have told this Companies Act. Now this is amendment has taken place. These are some provision which is I have told you. Now this is three basic concept: penalty, compoundable, and cognizable. This is clear to penalty and fine. I have told you. Cognizable, non-cognizable. I have told you. Compoundable and non-compoundable. I have told you. Now this is a fine difference which I want to. You can just see this.
स्लाइड नंबर कौन सा है? एक मिनट. स्लाइड नंबर कौन सा है सर आपका?
मेरा नहीं, आपका. मेरा स्लाइड आ रहा है 13 नंबर.
ना नहीं, मूव नहीं कर रही सर फिर आपकी.
अभी भी नहीं कर रही?
ना, ये सेकंड पे ही अटक गई सर.
अच्छा, आप है ना 13 नंबर स्लाइड मेरा स्टार्ट करो. मैं बंद करता हूँ.
हाँ, आप बंद करो सर, मैं कर रहा हूँ. सर आ रहा है ना सर?
हाँ, आ गया. 13 नंबर पे आ जाओ.
13 पे आ रहा हूँ. जी सर.
हाँ, दिस one. हाँ ओके राजेश जी मेरा पेंसिल पे ध्यान रखना मैं जब पेंसिल उठाऊं तो आप स्लाइड चेंज करना ओके ओके सुना ओके सो इसको फुल स्लाइड शेयर कर दो
फुल स्लाइड है सर
नहीं वो साइड में आ रहा है ना बगल में
बगल में तो सर वो अपने अच्छा ये तो मैं
स्लाइड शो पे जाओ ऊपर स्लाइड शो पे
ऊपर
हाँ स्लाइड शो पे यहाँ पे
हाँ,
हाँ ये
F5
इसको क्या करूं सर
इसको दबा के फ्रॉम करंट स्लाइड कर दो यहाँ पे नंबर 2 पे आ जाओ इधर फ्रॉम बिगनिंग
नहीं मैं समझा नहीं सर इसको प्रेस करके
आप इसको प्रेस कर दिया आप स्लाइड से दबाओ
हाँ
या शिफ्ट प्लस और इसको
Press.
बिगनिंग फ्रॉम बिगनिंग की जगह फ्रॉम करंट स्लाइड करो सेकंड नंबर
F5 करके फ्रंट
F5 कर दो
F5 कर दिया सर मैंने
फ्रंट स्लाइड शिफ्ट प्लस F5
है शिफ्ट प्लस
हाँ
F5 कर दिया सर मैंने
हाँ ठीक है
आ गया सर आ गया
अब पीछे वाली स्लाइड पे जाइए ओके ना नेक्स्ट नहीं नहीं आप आगे आ जाओ आगे आओ आप 13 नंबर स्लाइड पे आ जाओ yeah this okay so now friends sorry for this technical glitches the categorization of offense under Companies Act it is divided into two parts whatever I have explained to you now one is penalty and second is fine and imprisonment now normally we are just thinking that penalty and fine is both are same but it is not in Companies Act wherever word penalty is mentioned it means this is a lesser and it is a in-house adjudication mechanism can handle like registrar of companies which is introduced first time in 2013 and then it was notified so all the places where penalty word is there that can be small and that ROC can adjudicate second issue is fine and imprisonment so somewhere the word fine is there it is a compoundable somewhere fine or imprisonment word is there so wherever fine or imprisonment that is a compoundable and who can compound if amount is up to 5 lakh then RD can compound if amount is more than 25 lakh then NCLT can compound so this is the compoundable now come to the non-compoundable portion so where a word mention fine and imprisonment so fine and imprisonment mean that this is a non-compoundable and it can be compoundable by court only next point is cognizable offense that anything which is connected under 447 that is fraud and the penalty is there as per 447 it is a cognizable offense arrest can take place and this is handled by SFIO and only court can adjudicate this so if you this particular slide is most important slide to understand everything for the sake of brevity I am just talking penalty fine and imprisonment fine and imprisonment has a three things only fine or imprisonment and fine and imprisonment fine or imprisonment is a compoundable fine and imprisonment is non-compoundable and 447 also is not non-compoundable and this entire thing is handled by NCLT and court so all non-compoundable things is handled by court the criminal court and remaining things by either NCLT or by the RD so this is the basic structure of Companies Act which is now final after all the things next so now how to handle this so default and offenses so somewhere where they have mentioned penalty it is respectable in particular section they have mentioned what is the meaning of penalty and they have prescribed that penalty is how much somewhere they have mentioned fine and imprisonment that is section is also specific section they have provided and wherever there is a section is silent and there is no penal provision is provided but in Companies Act if they are silent It doesn't mean that no penalty is there. The penalty is there, and general penal provision is under section 450 has to be headed. Okay. So now offense liable for punishment. Now I am going to the reverse. So what I am doing this, that wherever the strict penalty is there, I am just covering what is the remaining and what is the they have removed. Now friends, I have divided this particular all the section into two parts. One is in detail and one is in the basic points. So I will just cover basic point, but the detailed chart is a part of the presentation which you can read, because Rajesh ji will share all the presentation to you, so it will be useful for all of us. So now first is the offense under 447. So this particular thing has two parts. One is if fraud is more than 10 lakh and more than 1% of turnover, it is imprisonment and fine and non-compoundable under 447. Second is, the next is if the amount is less than 10 lakh and less than 1% of turnover, and it is covered under imprisonment or fine, is a compoundable. So that can be RD can NCLT can do the compoundable. Now cognizable offense under 447, the SFIO, they do the investigation. They all the fraud matter SFIO will do, whatever central government will refer, and SFIO has power of Code of Civil the Criminal Proceeding 73, and they can arrest in the matter, and which has taken place in some cases. Now this 447, which is if you see this, ex-chairman ILFS Hari Shankaran arrested, promoter Bhushan Steel neither single arrested, Rotomec promoter Rahul Kothari arrested, Frost International director Sanjay Desai and Uday Desai, that is, they have arrested. All SFIO has arrested in this. Now if you see the section of 447, what they have removed. So earlier it was a 20 section, still they are a 20 offense, so they have not removed any things in this. Now what are the things which I am just shortly discussing in 447? What are the things they are still punishable by fine and imprisonment by SFIO? Punishing any false and incorrect information at the time of incorporation. Conduct Section 8 companies fraudulent, Section 8 companies in fraudulent manner. Criminal liability of prospectus. Inducing person to invest money. Personification of securities. Issue of duplicate shares by fraud. Transfer of shares with intent of fraud. Then concept of misrepresentation name. When you are doing reduction of capital, failure to pay deposits with intent defraud of the investors or deposit holder, willful default inviting deposits and the deceiving companies shareholders, willfully furnishing any false incorrect information in registration of charges, willful furnishing incorrect information and delegation in SBO, the significant beneficiary ownership, and then involvement of auditor in any fraudulent activity with the companies under 140. So wherever the auditor's involvement is proved that he is connivance with the promoter, that is penalized. Then if a company carried out business in fraudulent manner, companies carried out businesses and defraud the creditors, if any person destroy, tamper documents, applying removal of name of companies with the intent to deceive the creditors, and then false statement, any written report and certificate. So friends, these are all section, just go back. These are all section which are 447, which are cognizable, and they are punishable with fraud, and anybody can be arrested. Last 448, it is applicable to all chartered accountant, all company secretary, that any return report certificate we are filing and it is wrong, we are penalized and we can be prosecuted in this. Now, all these things, all these sections which I have summarized, I have given the detail next. Now, the entire thing which I have told you, that is there, the section and offenses. This is for you to read it. I have just given a glance information to all of you. So Rajesh ji, just go forward. Next, 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 next. Yeah. So now these all section you can read it and their part. Now second point is, these are all 447 fraud section. But other than fraud, there are some section which are non-compoundable and non-cognizable. Mean they can, there's no arrest, but they can imprisonment can be there, and they can put penalty, and this can be settled by court only. Next. So what are these things? There was a 21 before this, and now also 21. So non-compoundable, non-cognizable, that is 21 offense which were there earlier. What are these offense which I am just giving? So deceitful personification, any owner of any shares. If person contravenes order of tribunal by refusal of registration, contravention or default in provision of accepting deposits. A person found guilty in tampering with the minutes of the proceeding. Now this is very important. Section 118, if you are tampering the minutes. Now, very interesting case I will just share with you. In one program I went there and I asked, I was aware that this is a penalty, this is a wrong. I asked that how many people are making the old minutes, like so many chartered accountant and company secretary they are doing. They are taking a bulk work of companies that 10 saal ke purane minutes we can work out, 5 years minutes we can make it, and we will charge you 1,000 rupees per annum or 5,000 rupees per annum. But friends, this particular thing is a fraud. You cannot make minutes in bulk. Minutes mean the meeting has taken place and you are recording. But if somebody is doing this work and they are exchanging the mails and saying that I will make the minutes for 5 years, 10 years, it is a wrong. And so many company secretaries and so many professionals are booked by SFIO, those who are doing. So this is also penalty. Failure of distribution of dividend within 30 days, intention of deceive company shareholders, default of provision in political contribution, that is also coming into this. Next. Contravention provision of loan 186, violation is there. Any director who is disobeying the direction issued by registrar and inspector at the time of inspection, that is also any company fails to comply with order passed by tribunal. Any valuer who is, now this is also important for all chartered accountant, if the valuer has contravention the provision of valuation with the intention to defraud the company and its member. So if you are doing valuation and you are doing something defrauding this, that is also penalized. Failure to keep proper books of accounts for bonding up. Any person who found guilty of fraud involving amount which I just told you 10 lakh se upar hai or 1% se zyada, that is also turnover, that is also responsibility there. Any person intentionally give false evidence, that is also the penalized in this. Now this is also same way. Go next. So this is also in detail which I have just covered. Yeah, next. Okay, now come to the compoundable. Just go back, sir. So compoundable offense where punishment with imprisonment has been omitted. Now this is important, which you have to see in which case imprisonment is removed. Next. So now these are the certain things where default in complying with the requirement relating to formation of company with charitable object, that is also they have removed, because earlier all default, all things small and big, they were penalized, and something was imprisonment also, fine and imprisonment. Then contravention of provision related to issue of prospectus. So if fraud in the prospectus, misrepresentation in prospectus is still non-compoundable, but this particular thing they have removed from the penal provision. Default in complying with the provision relating to securities to be dealt in stock exchange, that is a small issue which has they removed. Now default in buyback, that is also they have removed. If so, sometime what is happening, you are doing buyback of shares, and the buyback is allowed of 15% by board and 25% by shareholder, but now you are doing 35% or 40%. It is not a, earlier it was a imprisonment. Now they have removed the imprisonment provision. Violation is there, but imprisonment is not there. If any of the provision of section 139 to 46 relating to auditor, that is also removed, that is a good sign for all chartered accountant that this is not imprisonment now. If a foreign company contravenes the provision of chapter 22, that is also they have removed. If any officer of the employer company fails to comply with the compounding order by NCLT and RD, that is also, because these are the all not in a criminal nature, this is a technical nature. Okay, next. So these are the 8 points they have removed. Now, offense liable to punishment with imprisonment or with fine or with both. It means it is a compoundable. Word imprisonment is there, but it is with or. So it is a compoundable. RD and NCLT will do compoundable. Now, what are the things which are there? Next. So there are section before Companies Act, which was, now they have made it 8 offense which are compoundable. Next. So now first is the regional director, where the penalty provision is up to 25 lakh, they can do. And what are the section? Financial statement ka issue hai, loan to director 185, freezing of assets and inquiry or investigation, imposition of restriction and other upon securities, direction for filing statement and adjudication of penalties. These are all 6 sections is 25 less than 25 lakh, RD will do. And these are sections which are penalties more than 25 lakh, that is NCLT can do, where repayment of deposits, the minimum penalty is 25 lakh, and punishment of fraud, where the amount is less than 10 lakh and turnover is less than 1%. These are handled by NCLT. So this is one sign that these are all compoundable. You can go to NCLT or RD and you can compound it. Next. Now, offense where penal provision removed. So some sections are there where they have removed penal provision altogether. Now, what are these sections? Default in complying with any direction of central government for ratification of name. Okay. So earlier you have, the government has given direction, change the name, and you have not done. It was a penal provision, and then the penalties were there. So now they have removed this and they come out with different solution. If a company fails to publish the confirmation order of reduction of shares, that is also very small thing that they have realized that this is not a penal provision. Now, if the company liquidator makes a default in forwarding copy to order, that they have removed, that these are the all technical nature. If a person fails to negate to give assistance required under this section, that is also they have removed. If the company liquidator or person fails to file certified copy, so these all things, they realize that these are all technical in nature. If you have done it, they have, this is not a penal provision, they have removed it, and they require that these people should file it. Now come to this offense liable for punishment with fine only. So where the penalty is only, it's not a penalty, it's a fine, and that is a compoundable. So they have done. So there were 36 sections before this. Now they make it 30. So it is not that 36 they have reduced 6. Something they have changed in some other place. So now this is only 30 fine compoundable point is there. Next. Now these are something which I'm just reading is for your point, that all these things, subsidiary definition, formation of company for charitable purpose, incorporation rule, companies incorporation rule relating to OPC matters, whatever you are mentioning in prospectus, that they have removed. How the security is dealt in the stock exchange, that certain things they have removed. If you are purchasing your own security, that they have said that this penalty is handled by the SEBI, so they have changed it. Acceptance of deposit rules, they have changed various penalties in this. Next. Then punishment of defaulting or complying with provision of 96 to 98, that is AGM, another thing. Then company's management point, books of account, punishment for contravention of 139 relating to auditor. If auditor of company is violating, that is also they have removed. Duties of directors, they have changed it. Vacation of, suppose director has not vacated because of he has violated certain things. That is also, earlier it was a non-compoundable. Now they have made it compoundable. Power of call to information, and you are not submitting information. All these things, they have made it compoundable. Something, power of tribunal, you have violated something. Consequences of termination of some certain agreement, restriction of making application under some situation where a strike off is there, company's liquidation point, disposal of books, penalty for contravention of various producer company things and other things, and then reconvene the producer company related things were there. Punishment for contravention of incorporated outside India Nidhi companies, compounding of certain offense which NCLT and ROD has given order and they have not done. Punishment for wrongful withholding of property, that they have changed it now. And the punishment of improper use of limited and private limited, because sometimes companies limited, you are using private limited, sometimes you are using wrong name. So that is also penalized. Prohibition of association of partnership exceeding certain numbers. So all these things, they have changed it and make it compoundable now. So this is a welcome move, that earlier it was a non-compoundable, now they have made it compoundable. Next. Now, settlement of offense through compounding by regional director of the tribunal as the case may be. So all these offense which are compounded by ROC, RD and NCLT. Now how to do this? So I have told you that if the penalty is less than 25 lakh, then RD will do more than NCLT. Now how you can take this particular thing, procedure for compounding. So you have to file an application to ROC for compounding the offense. So whatever thing is there, you will not go directly to RD and NCLT, you have to go to ROC first. ROC shall forward with their comment report to NCLT and RD as the case may be. NCL and RD, they will scrutinize the application and give the hearing date. And after hearing, they will compound the offense and follow the direction of the order and file the fee. And then after this, the order will go to the ROC, and within 7 days of date of receipt of the order, you have to comply all these things. So this is the procedure of RD and NCLT that you can understand. It is done by through ROC you have to move. So this is the procedure of compounding. Now come to the next. Offense liable to penalty adjudication under section 554 in-house. So wherever the word is mentioned penalty, these adjudication is done by in-house. Now what are some example I am giving you, because penalty is so many, I have taken out some example. Next. So there were 30 offense, now it has gone to 63. So previously, before this amendment, there was only 30 offenses which they have done in 2019 amendment, because earlier penalty was very less places. Now they have added 38 and now they have added 63. So you can understand that most of the places they have removed fine word. Fine mean you have to go to court, NCLT. Now you have to go to in-house mechanism. So what are the in-house mechanism point? That is some example I am giving, like where after reservation of name, you are furnishing wrong information, default in filing declaration of commencement of business. Now all these things earlier was a penalty, you have to go to the court, and then criminal proceedings were taking place. So before 2013, slowly they have removed, and now all these violation that company does not maintain registered office. Previously it was a violation and penal provision and the criminal proceedings. Now it is in-house method. Registered office is not there. Some issue is there. You can do alteration and memorandum. Company does not file return allotment within 15 days. It was also penalized. Now they have made it in-house. If company issues shares at discount, company does not maintain register of members. All these violation earlier was serious in nature. If person fails to declare SPO, the significant beneficiary owner. Company if failed to comply with the annual return within a specified 60 days. If company secretary in practice certifies annual return in conformity with this, companies fail to resolution with the specified 30 days. Listed companies not filing the report of AGM. So all these things which were there, if auditor is fails to file the resignation with the registrar, all these things were there. It was a serious penalty. If person hold office in more than direct specified limit, like you can't be more than 7 listed company, 20 companies, that was a violation. Every officer of the company whose duty was to give notice to the board fails to do. Section 184, default of the related party, managerial remuneration. So now managerial remuneration, you cannot give managerial remuneration more than this, but you are giving. So they have prescribed that yes, either you have to refund or you have to get approval of shareholders. Default in provision of secretarial audit, KMP, all these things now in-house mechanism. You go to the ROC and you can adjudicate. So now what is the ROC? How the ROC will do in-house provision? The provision is that settlement offense through adjudication by registrar of companies, how they are doing this. So the provision is ROC will issue show cause notice to company and officer in default, and they will say why penalty should not be imposed. You have to reply within 15 to 30 days, which ROC is mentioning, and then the reply you have to give electronic mode. So that is very important. The physical appearance is required when you are asking, on ROC things it is required. All these things like you have delayed the penalty, delayed the filing, simple procedure, you have to do this. You have to file some return, you have delayed the normal process, so there is no need to appearance physically. Where the person to whom notice issued while submitting electronic reply has indicated that he wants to make oral representation himself or through authorized representative. So ROC will normally give electronic mode, but if you want to this, then you can request ROC and ROC can give you personal hearing. So now they have prescribed in the law also that how many days order will be passed. So ROC will pass order within 30 days where physical appearance not required. 90 days where the physical appearance is required. So this is also, they have given a structured process they have provided. Next is the copy of order of person concerned the central government and upload on the website. ROC will send to the person concerned and upload on the website. Now, how the ROC will do the penalty? So one thing is very clear. There is a clear-cut direction that penalty provision, you cannot reduce it. So they, by making this, that whatever minimum penalty is prescribed, you cannot reduce this. So you have to give minimum to maximum in between to this, and you have to factor in following things. You have to see what is the nature of business carried by the company, injury to public interest, if there any public harm has taken place. They will see किस type का nature of default है. They will say repetition of default is there or not. Like you have done some violation, again you are coming. Then they say amount of disappropriation, gain on unfair advantage. Something which you have done, it is unintentional. Something you have done intentionally and you got some benefit. They want to see, and they see how much loss to investor and creditor has taken place by doing this. So on the basis they will do. But government has done one more thing. They have taken out the discretion that you can put minimum penalty. You cannot do that. You are leaving them. Minimum penalty which is prescribed in the section you have to impose. Cannot be less than the minimum penalty which is prescribed, and it must be paid within through MCA portal or order. If order is appealable to RD within 60 days, you have to do order. So two things they have done. You have to pay the penalty through MCA portal, no need to go anywhere. And if order is appealable, then within 60 days you have to go to RD. So this is the in-house mechanism they have done. Now, what is the advantage which they will do for this adjudication of penalties? One is the mechanism is simple, quick and fast, and not riddled with court procedure. all these things, if you remember, if all the chartered accountants sitting here, they have realized you have delayed your balance sheet and ROC has started prosecution. Earlier law was there. Either they were not asking so many years, but as per the law, if you have to file up to 30th October, you're not filing, you're filing on 1st November or 2nd November, is a violation. And that violation, if they are starting prosecution, directly they were filing court cases in Tis Hazari or some criminal court, and then you have to go for bail and you have to do all these things. That was not there earlier in the system. Now they have started this. So all court procedure is out. You go to simple process and handle it. Adjudication can be done only after issuance of the notice by the registrar. Now here, one important thing which is some other law is there, like SEBI is there. When in SEBI, if you have violated something, you can go suo moto to the SEBI and then say that I have violated this. Here there is no system that you can do. Here when the registrar issue a notice, you can only go there. This particular things will give the advantage that declogging of code and NCLT they will do. Then second is the mechanism is in line with government initiative towards ease of doing business and promoting corporate compliance. So people are, if there is small violation, they are not penalized. And they have done this system online. So majority things will be handled through online system. So that will that are the advantage of this. Now, some questions I'm receiving, so I'm just covering all these things they have done. But even then, certain things are there, which is very, very important. Now, I'm receiving some questions which people are asking that what will be happen to the old cases. So friends, MCA has not provided any system that whatever cases are going on, they are going on. We have recommended to government and we have sent the suggestions to government that these are all for new cases. But whatever cases they have already started, already is going on in the court, it is not covering. So they have to bring out some new scheme for managing the old cases of old law, of old cases of the new law, which has already filed. So this is one point which is a need of the hour, demanding this, that they should do this. Second is MCA settlement scheme should be in the line of SEBI settlement scheme. Like I have just told you that you cannot put less penalty, but you can impose the higher side also, which is prescribed in the section. And then they have given something that loss to the investor, loss to this. If you go to SEBI settlement scheme, they have codified everything. So if the MCA can also do this, that they can do the codification of all these settlement scheme, that will also very useful. You can calculate it, or in SEBI system, you go there, they will realize that how much you have to pay. Recently, some of the chartered accountant on their client, they must have received some notice of SEBI settlement scheme, which is people have done in 2014, some cases relating to illiquid option trading. So here you go and put your PAN card number, all your transactions which you have done, that will come, and then the calculation of penalty which they have prescribed, that will come. It is a multiple combination that they have done. So when the one regulator can do this type of thing, you can also do. Suppose I have not filed my return for say 10 days delay, 15 days delay, 20 days delay, they can make the system so I can just feed the information and my penalty is coming, and I can give online penalty payment. There is no need to go to all other hassle that they should start, because companies are more, listed companies are less, and here companies are 11 lakh, 12 lakh companies, active companies are there. Then second is, if you see the settlement process of SEBI, MC and RBI, all are different. So they can, because all these are economic offense, all these things are there, they can make it they can make common settlement process where everything should not be different. Like I told you fine and penalty. Here it is, this is in Companies Act, not in other law. Second is NCLT in court may not be involved in technical violation. They should handle only the violation which are require some judicial interpretation, judicial scrutiny. All technical violation, delays, non-submitting, that should be some automatic system should be there. So these are some suggestions and some questions which I have received, and I'm giving answer that old cases will not be settled in this way. Government has to bring out some new scheme. So these are some suggestions which I have given. Rajesh ji, next. Now, some technical part is there, which I'm just reading and then moving. So some other non-compliance related amendment they have done. No monetary penalty under section 92(137). Like if you have not filed the annual return or financial statement, then or has been ratified either prior to or within 30 days of issue of notice of the adjudicating officer, then there is no need to monetary penalty. This is, you have made good the offense. That is very good things which they have done, and that is very important thing which they have done. So this is one point. Exclusion offense relating to 143. So there was a 2 places this offense was coming, so they have modified it. They have correct 2 places the same things was coming. They have modified it. Next. Then offense purview of special code. Earlier, what was happening? Withholding of property related thing was going to the special code of where the company law matter was handling. Now they have removed. They are saying these are not company law related matter. These are the civil in nature. So then you have to go to the normal civil code. Next. Then compounding on offense. Now in compounding offense, they have provided that any officer or employee of the company fails to comply with RD and ROC order, minimum amount of the fine offense proposed be with twice the amount provided. So now what is happening, that you have done violation 1 and then you have violation twice. So if you have done twice, then amount is also the multiplying. It's a double. So that was the need, that was a demand of the industry, that so ministry has the MC has done this, that they will bring out, because the amount was coming out higher, so they will bring out some new rules, and they will not penalizing the double the amount, but they will bring out some new system that can be settled. Next. Lesser penalties of certain companies. They have prescribed that if there's a producer company, startup company, 1% company, so their monetary penalty they have restricted. It is maximum penalty should be kept to 2 lakh for companies and 1 lakh for the officer in default. So that is another good move which they have done. That if these types of companies, their penalty is more, but they are capping this. So this is also they have done some good for the industry. Now these are all points which are related to the decriminalization and simplification which we have done. Any question you can put it. I will finish the other part, other changes which has taken place in the new amendment, and then after this I will take up the question answer on both the things. So some ease of doing business they have done in this other than decriminalization. The first point is that next. Exclusion of specified security definition of listed company. The Companies Act 2013 has done, they told that whatever, if you are what is the definition of listed company? So they put that any instrument is listed on stock exchange that will call the listed company. And the listed company has to comply various things, give results, half-yearly result, auditor's appointment, quarterly. So many restrictions are there for listed company, publishing of their result. So the SEBI law provide that what is listed company has to comply. Company law provide who is listed company, any instrument is listed. It was a cumbersome process. Various companies are they are NCD listed because of the investors request. Unlisted company NCD is listed. That was a called a listed company, and they have to undergo all the procedure of listed company. So now the government has removed this, and they are saying they will provide the relaxation that which company will be called listed company, not on the basis of instrument listed, but if the listed instrument is there, then what they have to follow, they will provide that. So the compliance has to reduce in this. Next. Then direct listing. Today the law is that if you want to go to list your security outside India, the Indian company cannot go if it is not listed at the stock exchange in India. That was a restriction put in. I don't know why they have put in the restriction. If the other stock exchange is ready to list your security, then what is your problem? So now they are removing this, that even if you are not listed here and you want to go list there, you can do it. And then they are coming out with so many relaxation in chapter 3, chapter 4 of prospectus and share capital. Now all these sections are connected with SEBI. So first it is coming in the SEBI law, in the company law, and then SEBI is making a law in this because they are not doing. But somewhere there is a contradiction of Companies Act and the SEBI law, and that's why they are saying that all these things the SEBI will make the law. So they are now coming out that they will not make the law relating to prospectus and share capital or listed company, that they are giving the right to SEBI. Next. Now, amendment related to ease of compliances, next, which they have done. One is ease of ratification of name of company. Now, today what is happening, that they are saying you have to change the name of the company. So they were giving 6 months time. Sometime they've realized that this name is not connoissance with this, or name is conflicting with other name. So they are giving 6 month time to change. Now they have reduced to 3 months. And then one more power they have taken. If the company is not changing this, then government can change. So that they have make it, and then it is also make that they are not imposing allot the new name and default in complying with the direction, instead of imposing punishment for non-compliance of such default. So what they have done, they were penalizing that you have not changed. So now in place of penalizing, they are saying we are changing name. So you, if you are not changing, we are suggesting, and they will change the name. So this is the one they have done. Then second is the lesser time for right issue. Now I have just told you that various law is governed by Companies Act, which SEBI is doing. Now today the right issue is open up to 30 days. And this was a need of all the capital market player, that 30 days is a very big period, and the maximum people are investing money on the last day. So what is the purpose to open for 30 days? But SEBI cannot change this because of the Companies Act. Now they have reduced to the 30 days to 15 days. This is one good example of ease of doing business. Then exemption of declaration respective beneficiary interest. Now beneficiary interest every company has to declare, but now they want to give the government company and the company of central government where the president has the holding shares, and so they want to give relaxation to them. So they have come out the exemption on this. So this is another good move which has come. Then come to the next part, exemption from filing of resolution. Now there are so many resolutions you are filing. Now what they are saying, banking companies are also filing resolution, but they were exempted for granting loans, because that is every day they are giving loan. So they are saying banking companies are exempted, but they were not exempted NBFC and HFC, housing finance company. So they have made it now like the now the banking company, NBFC and registered HFC will not file resolution relating to guarantee and providing loan. That is also they have modified. CSR. In CSR, they have amended two very important things. One is you have to spend 2%. That is very clear to everybody knows. But now they are saying, suppose particular year you have spent more money, you can adjust next year. So earlier it was not there. Suppose you have to spend 1 crore today and you have spent 1 crore 30 lakh. Next year you cannot claim 30 lakh extra you have spent last year. You have spent 1 crore 30 lakh, but you were supposed to spend 1 crore, but they will not give exemption. Now they are saying it is allowed that you can set off succeeding next year. Then second is that they are saying if you are not spending more than 50 lakh rupees, then there is no need to constitute the CSR committee, because committee formation, doing this, that was some cumbersome process people were facing. So they have removed this part also. So this is another change they have done. Then come to the amendment relating to good corporate governance point of view. They have made some changes. Now, what are the changes? One is they have introduced the new section of 129. Now, 129A, today all listed company, they have to furnish the quarterly result. And the quarterly result is also by audited or limited review by the chartered auditor. And then you have to publish to the public. So now they are introducing this, that big companies which are unlisted, like Paytm, like Patanjali, they are huge business. They have to now submit their result to the public, because they are very giant and their public interest is involved. So many vendors, so many people are involved. So they should know what is the health of the company. You should know the health of the company after the year. So that is new section they have introduced. So all the chartered accountant who are doing work to big unlisted company, which has a big turnover, big profit, big thing, they should keep it ready that you have to file, you have to do audit and various other things to these people. So that change you have done. Then remuneration of non-executive directors. Now you are aware that if non-executive director is there, and there was a 2 condition for remuneration, that you should have a sufficient profit. Now they allowed that if there is an inadequacy of profit, those who are executive director you can pay. But now they are including non-executive director also, if you are paying some commission to them. So non-executive director, including independent directors, and if you want to give some commission to them, which is allowed, and you have no adequacy, adequacy of profit is not there, even then you can pay. So this is a controversial move. I am not approving independent director, but this is the government, and then some need of some people that the independent director is putting their effort. So that is there. And second is that since company were not able to pay remuneration to non-executive director, especially in case of loss, since Schedule 5 it is applicable to executive director, so they have introduced this remuneration to non-executive director. Now, certain amendment they have related to winding up. That is a normal, which is a technical in nature. I am leaving this presentation to you, so you can read it. This is some procedural part, so not very important thing. Okay. Now, amendment relating to foreign companies. Now, they have prescribed foreign companies some changes they have done, because various foreign companies saying that companies law is applicable to all companies. It is not. Earlier Companies Act is talking about this section is applicable to this companies, this section is applicable to this company. But in New Companies Act, everything is applicable to all companies, but exemption is given in the section. So the foreign companies are facing problem, certain things which were not required to them to do this. So now the government has prescribed that whatever things are there, government has a power, central government, that they can grant exemption to foreign companies which are not required to file them. Next. Some other amendment, a small amendment which they have done. Next. One is default in filing of document. Now this is very important, which has come. Now central government is prescribing higher additional fee for defaulting of submitting filing, registering or recording of prescribed document on 2 or more occasions. Now what is happening, that today if you have done the violation 2 times, then the higher penalty, and the penalty is prescribed double, which I have just told you, but this is specifically they have mentioned. Now they are saying if minimum additional penalty you have to pay, then additional penalty shall not be less than twice the additional fee provided in the rules. So they are coming out that if you are violating this, then what you have to do this. So they have prescribed, this is the new things. Then they are changing the producer company, same with in the foreign company. They are also talking about, they are inserting the new chapter of producer company, and the producer company, they are giving various exemptions and various things are not applicable on this. Then come to the some NCLAT constitutional bench. Now they are removing the restriction of number of judicial and technical member that the central government may appoint in NCLAT, because today it is a restricted in number, because NCLAT only one branch is there. So they have done two things. One is restriction of number they have removed. Second is they are central government is empowered that NCLAT bench and related provision, they can constitute multiple places. Today in Delhi there is only one bench of NCLAT, but now they can make NCLAT bench in Bombay also, Calcutta, or all three or 4 places they can do this. So these are all changes which are prescribed by the new amendment act. Now I can take up your question and answer, and anybody has any question which you can say. I'm just reading out the questions and then discussing. Sir, if you mentioned that there is a difference between fine and versus penalty, then what exactly the difference between these two terms? How Companies Act differentiate the fine versus penalty? So friends, I told you very categorically, I'm just repeating again. The Companies Act prescribe wherever they want that this is a small in nature, they are using word penalty in the section. And wherever they think that this is a higher level of thing, they have used word fine. In the fine, they have a 3 category. They have mentioned either fine or imprisonment, fine and imprisonment. That is mentioned in the all sections, that what types of things. Now difference of fine and penalty, I have told you, the penalty provision is there, it is adjudicated by ROC. If the fine is mentioned, then it is a 2 types of fine, compoundable and non-compoundable. Compoundable can be done by RD and the ROC or the NCLT, and that is also, I told you, less than 25 lakh, RD can do, more than 25 lakh, NCLT can do, if the offense is compoundable. What offense is compoundable? Where the word fine is mentioned, only fine word is mentioned. Where fine or imprisonment word is mentioned, that is a compoundable. But wherever the word fine and imprisonment is mentioned, it is non-compoundable. It has 2 types of things, the cognizable and non-cognizable. Cognizable mean you can be arrested. That is only in 447. That is a section of fraud. And then non-cognizable, that is some other section which is not connected with fraud, that is there. So this is the fine difference is mentioned. Refer to slide number 13, which I have given in the presentation. It is very clear. If it is any confusion, you can send it to me, the mail, take it from Rajesh. I will give answer to the respective person who has any confusion. But you can read this. So the Companies Act, there is 3 things. I'm just repeating: fine and penalty, cognizable and non-cognizable, compoundable and non-compoundable. These are the 6 things you remember, and accordingly you can do. Next question is, Vishal has asked whether these amendments are effective retrospectively or from the date of assent of the President. What if the ROC has filed criminal prosecution case before these amendment came, hearing not yet take place? Friends, I will divide this particular question into two parts. One is before this Companies Act 2013 and latest Companies Act. So before Companies Act 2013, the cases which are going in court, it will continue. They have to bring out new scheme. Whatever cases which are before this precedent accent has taken place and that is there, that can cover by this section and the ROC can do the compounding. But any matter has gone to the court and the court proceeding has started, then I told you various sections there. It is not a retrospective. Government has to bring out that how to do the retrospective thing. Till now, the clarity is not there. These all are prospective, not a retrospective. So retrospective for this law, retrospective for before this particular law, they have to bring out some scheme. But when they are bringing out some retrospective scheme for Companies Act 2013 is a simple thing, but before 2013, that is a 1956 Act, it is a cumbersome process. They have to bring out. But suggestion has gone to ministry. They are working out on this. As per the Yogi Raj has asked question, as per the new law amendment, how many compounding is permitted during the lifetime of company? The compounding of company permitted multiple times, but the penalty and penalty provision, because there is no restriction of multiple times, but only thing they are putting restriction that if if the penalty provision, now the amount of penalization will increase and that will be a higher amount, and if it is a multiple time, then they have prescribed in the law that they may not compound. So you can do compounding of various section, but if you are going again on the section, then it's a matter which can give the negative impact on your record that is there. So compounding today, the more penalty and more amount will be there. So this, I think Rajesh ji has shown this slide number 13. It is very clear. I was also thinking how to make it simplified. So I have done this. So it is very clear. You have to see in the section what they have mentioned penalty word. You have to refer this, the penalty point. If they have mentioned fine and imprisonment, you have to read it's only fine. Then you have to go, fine mean it's a compoundable. If it is mentioned fine or imprisonment, it is also compoundable. Okay. If it is fine and imprisonment, it is non-compoundable. And if it is mentioned under 447, it is non-compoundable and cognizable offense. Arrest can take place, and that is only handled by all non-compoundable can be handled by court, not by NCLT, and now not by RD and ROC. So this is simple point. These are, I think, few question has come. I have given answer. Any question, anything which you can ask me, I'll give answer to you. राजेश जी आपका म्यूट है
सर स्लाइड को स्टॉप कर दूं सर
हाँ कर दीजिए
now I think there is no question sir so thank you very much sir and request our Rajiv Kohli ji for a formal vote of thanks sir.
Thank you CS Kohli ji, such a nice and illustrative and very clarity for giving on the various amendments regarding decriminalization of the offences under the Companies Act. So basically what has happened is that after 2013, everything was presumed that we'll have to have lots of deterrents for the management so the compliance will take place. But the cost of compliance is becoming high and high day by day. And so then we should have something small companies where is nothing been taken, the husband, wife, friend, brother, they have made small private companies. Some special sections outside the purview of this entire process should come for the small companies where they are like they have recognized in case of things like Paytm, Patanjali, you should have your listed accounts listed. Similarly, you should have some schemes for the small companies. Sir, AK-47 लेके छोटे चूहे मारने को तो फायदा नहीं है सर में. So entire deterrent process was very good. Sir, am I audible?
Yes, yeah, audible.
So basically, I think as to come to the cost of compliance for a lesser company having a turnover 5 crores with no major borrowing should be much lesser. Something to that in line for ease of doing business. Want to do so many things. So ease of doing business and compliances. There has technical lapses. We have taken very good. The technical lapses go into the penalty point. But fines, imprisonment, and compoundable is a very nice thing. But the way things are evolving, you have a pandemic. You are having losses. And the environment is not good. The company is not having adequate cash inflows. You can't have so many professionals working to do all the compliances. So basic, that is the people are facing this thing to a very great extent, the small companies. So something has to be given to the government for this representation, sir. So, and thank you very much, sir. Slide shows very nice. Slide number 13 is excellent pictorial view of the entire thing. In one nutshell, you have given the entire thing to us, sir. And thank you for such a nice deliberation with such clear-cut difference between penalty, fine penalty, compoundable, cognizable, non-cognizable, and the frauds are senior. Whereas a fraud takes place, you have to do the whole lot. But the fraud is not there, the intention is not nullified, then it has to be a much simpler process to do the entire thing. So thank you very much for the deliberation.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. I once again, sir, thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
आप सबको presentation भेज देना. Anybody has any question, they can talk to me.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.